Go.
Yeah, hello, how you doing? This is Edward. Michelle said, why don't you get out for a little while today? And I said, okay, I'm in the mood, so I'll do that. We are going to, in a few minutes, we are going to set up a small slot car circle track here and show you people the Carrera slot car in action today.
It might be easier to do that in the kitchen.
She also took some pictures of my battery division, my battery train sets, 2 of them I have set up in the living room. They weren't running when she took the picture because I couldn't get over there right then and there, but the 2 battery sets are set up on top of our old console television, and like that, so things like that. So right now, I guess that's what we're going to be doing.
All right, now let's get me in here. And Ed, you're in the corner, and they can see me now. I might be off camera again.
You're not on camera now.
Okay, guys. We don't have a lot of time because I have mail coming. The phone man was supposed to call. We're doing a video. It's obviously going to be recorded in a series of parts. Unfortunately, Carrera train slot cars, I don't think is going to fit on this table. It's a little too narrow. Unless you want to just go in a circle in those straightaways.
No, I had it on here before, Michelle. I did have it on here.
We did it on the kitchen table. We didn't do it on this table. But that'll be coming up. Okay. We were talking about, first of all, some of my audience have asked me, why do you, talking about me, why do you only do one night show a week and not many night shows? And I explained the reason is we don't have the audience to make practical to have 2 night shows.
Michelle, point that toward you. Would you just put it toward you?
I think it is pointed towards me.
Just toward you, because I'm done talking right now.
Oh, no, I know. But it's just easier to leave us pointed at both of us because we don't have a camera person to do this. So we have to try to aim it for everybody so they can see both of us in the shot. So I should try to look more at the camera. So what I was trying to say this morning is we need to get something like, start seeing night shows with 30 plus people. Also, as Rosie O'Kelly said on her channel, she said a lot of the channels that are evaporating from YouTube are what they call reuse channels, ones that recycle content from other channels. In other words, they just basically swipe context and recycle and reuse it. But she says the idea of the 3 strikes and then you're gone thing is pretty much going away as far as YouTube is concerned. YouTube doesn't do 3 strikes anymore. More and more they're going to the 1 strike. And
tell them what Putin did. Tell them what Mr. Putin did in Russia.
This has to do with Russian television. RT.com. Some of the channels are being blocked on YouTube, claiming that they're being censored. And so he said through one of his agencies that YouTube, if you don't stop censoring our content, which in Russia law is a violation, we are going to remove you from available web services in Russia. Susan Wojcicki, take notice here. This is not tolerated in the United States either. Okay, we don't think it's appreciated that you're blocking conservative voices. And I really think it would be much better if you really love your Section 230 money, then you need to keep this in mind. The people have a right to speak up in a political arena or not. It doesn't matter. No, it just says vlogs or blogs and videos. This is like a blog. So it also means we're expressing our opinions. So opinions should be allowed to be expressed. No one's trying to give wrong information here. We're just expressing our opinions. At the time of recording this, The Senate has passed a continuing resolution to keep the government open. It has got to go now to this House and then to the President's desk to be signed into law. This is going to mean that the federal government will remain open until December. Janet Yellen's issue with the debt ceiling, however, is not addressed. And that is a real lightning rod. Because of the fact that it's nice to have a debt ceiling, but if you can't keep a track of your debt ceiling and you allow things to default, the United States is going to end up doing the same thing anyone else does when they go into bankruptcy. They're going to have to make payment arrangements. They're going to have to liquidate assets. They're going to have to go through, file Chapter 11, Chapter 7, whichever one they want to file, Chapter 9, whichever chapter of bankruptcy that they need to do.
What about the stimulus checks? Where does that stand right now?
Right now, there is currently no legislation yet on the stimulus checks. There is nothing. The $3.5 trillion package at this point is in limbo. There's no way it's going to pass.
They're trying to come up with, I heard they're trying to come up with a new compromise on that, though.
They should have. They should have done that from the beginning. They should have. That should have been the policy from the very beginning. Work together as a team and make this happen, and not sit there and go, it's either my way or the highway. That's not the way you do legislation. You need to work together. Opposing viewpoints still need to be allowed to be expressed, but people need to be able to work out the issues that each other find opposing and make them better. Okay, this is what they should have done. So this way, I'm saying right now is I'm hoping that they will come up with a solution, even if it means that they have to totally redo the $3.5 trillion bill from scratch. There is a lot of pork in that bill, boys and girls. A lot of pork. A lot of special interest things that are not necessarily going to be of immediate help to the majority of Americans that are struggling right now. There is things in there that has nothing to do with this. For example, free college for 2-year college. How does this help with the stimulus? It doesn't. Medicare reform. Does that help the public? Yes, it does. But it should have been addressed decades ago. Social Security SSI Restoration Act should have been addressed decades ago. Some of the stuff they should have addressed decades ago, but they didn't. So now the Democrats, even when they had Barack Obama as president and the Democrats were in control, i.e. the do-nothing Congress, they could have done with the stuff then, but they chose not to. So that tells me that really it's not a high priority item to them. They're just pushing it now because it makes them look good. But really, honestly, the truth is they don't look that good anyway because of their not doing anything, and throwing the Republicans under the bus isn't going to help either. So what do you think about that? The way that they threw the Republicans under the bus, saying, we don't need you, screw you, we got the reconciliation, we're going to go reconciliation, we don't need you at all.
I'm sorry, but I disagree with that because, I think the Republicans stand for, I think that there's two divisions here. Democrats standing for people trying to help everybody as a whole with the stimulus checks. A lot of people lost a lot because of the viruses that came out. COVID-19 viruses. And a lot of people, let me say what I'm saying, that they lost their businesses, a lot of people, and this is a very bad time. A lot of people lost almost everything. And the way I see it is these people need help. They didn't do anything wrong to deserve this, and they need help. But by the Republicans not refusing to give the things the Democrats are saying that are right to give, which they are, and God knows the government has the money. Wait a minute. The government has the money to do it as long as it was voted on both sides. But no, the Republicans had to say no. And you know what gets me is that okay, yeah, they should work together, but the thing is, what gets me is it came down to two people. How could a whole country come down to two legislative people. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. It should never come down to two people. Matter of fact, the President of the United States should be the one that has the last say on it, but that's not the way it works.
The Vice President does, actually. Here's how this works.
It's not...
Every state...
You asked me a question, Michelle. Will you let me finish, please?
Go ahead.
You asked me a question. I'm trying to finish. Anyway, my bottom line answer to that is, yes, they should work together, but no, they're refusing to. Okay. But they're not working together because I could see the Democrat side of it. This has been a very disastrous time in America. The COVID-19 virus has destroyed people. Whole businesses have gone under. They have gone from prevalent people that have had decent lives to nothing. These people need help. A lot of people. It's not just in the poor already. We're talking about the Social Security that should have been raised long time ago. We're living on 1970s rates. It's never been raised. That should have been addressed a long time ago.
There was 1985.
Okay.
But it wasn't much.
Right. But my point is the Democrats were trying to get all this stuff changed, and the Republicans are saying, no. Now, I understand what you're saying, Michelle, but the point is this is a crisis time. They shouldn't be doing what they're doing. They're playing two people. They're playing with America here. I don't see the Democrats as wrong. We needed these things that the Democrats wanted to do. Amtrak needs the extra rails around the country so we can have more trains.
Right.
They need more money for that.
Yeah.
And the Republicans are saying, no, just because you don't come to us first. Well, that's like a little kid having an argument with another little kid. No, because you didn't come to us first. That's what it's all based on. They're not thinking of the country as a whole. They're thinking about themselves. It's stupid.
Well, I was going to say is that Chuck Schumer was the one that basically gave Mr. McConnell the finger. He's, well, not literally, I hope, but maybe he did. Basically saying, we don't need you Republicans. Go suck eggs. We can get reconciliation. We can get this past through reconciliation. That didn't work out, guys, because Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinnebaum said, nope. This is too expensive, and they're moderate Democrats.
The point is, it shouldn't have been too expensive because the fact is, they as long as they keep the debt ceiling going and keep doing things the way they're doing it, obviously there's no problem, and they should just keep doing things, keep the status quo going. Why interrupt it and interrupt people's lives? You're talking about the country shutting down. This is ridiculous. They should just keep the status quo going. And it's been going on for the last freaking 40 years, and they need to just keep it going. This country is never, ever going to go into a positive deficit. That's not happening, folks.
That's called surplus.
Never. Surplus is never happening. Not when you owe trillions of dollars, so the only way they could do it is what they're doing. Using capital for backup. Bonds, you said. That's the only way, the only choice, and that's the only thing they could do, and they need to keep doing it the way they're doing it. That's all.
Right now, the biggest problem is the government also has a huge surplus of empty military bases that are abandoned, that they closed. These houses are sitting there unused. We have tons of military vehicles and stuff that we don't even need. We've been financing wars in foreign countries for decades. Right now, I'm saying is, and I'm sure if they were to bring this to bankruptcy court, the United Nations would say the same thing. You need to liquidate your assets. You guys got a lot of stuff. You guys have a lot of assets. You got to get rid of some of those. You got to start getting some liquidity. Sell the empty, abandoned military bases to investors or to companies that can flip them and fix them up and make them rentable properties.
Maybe they could do some things with that, yes. But the fact is, you're never going to clear up to zero, trillions of dollars in deficit.
No, that's but at least
they
can try.
It's impossible.
That's the thing. They can try. They're not even doing that. I haven't seen anybody say, what about all this stuff that we have sitting in warehouses that we're not using? Let's get rid of it. Let's sell it. Let's, for example, sell the weapons to NATO. I don't think so. We don't need.
I mean, what would be good is what they could do is more. What you could try to work toward is if you have a good way to do it, a positive way to do it, so that no one gets hurt. try to bring the deficit down, bring it more, make it more reasonable. Yeah, but get rid of it. I don't see that happening. But make the deficit spread less.
What I'm saying. Like, liquidate the assets that you have sitting in warehouses that's not being used by anybody. Get rid of the empty military bases that you abandoned that are sitting over there and the houses are falling apart. Just go ahead and liquidate those assets. No one's living in them. They're closed bases anyway. You know, we've already decommissioned all the gear.
I really don't understand myself. I don't have first-hand information, so I don't understand why things like that are happening when I have all this property that's sitting around and doing nothing. I don't have the answers for that. I don't have any information on it. I don't know why they don't use those.
It's called waste, Ed. The government wastes a lot. You don't realize that each one of those documents that they print, every one of those bills uses up to 5,000 to 6,000 sheets of paper? Every bill. Yay high. Why? Why do you need a bill that's 3 to 4 feet tall? Because it's a bunch of little bills put together. It's an omnibus.
Something obviously though, Michelle, somebody or something obviously must be working right with this country for this to continue happening and going on all these years, operating on a deficit, and still we're able to operate with no problem. Somebody's doing something right somewhere.
It's called the Treasury bills, T-bills. We have 10-year yield T-bills. The majority of the T-bills are owned by people at Wall Street. They're investors. They basically are letting us borrow their money, and then in 10 years, when they are due, we pay them back the principal and the interest on their T-bills. That's how we get ourselves financed. That's what the debt ceiling's for. Those are bills that we owe to other countries.
Then they need to keep the debt ceiling. To get rid of that would be totally stupid.
Right, because these are paying for the bills from the last...
Because without the debt ceiling, they can't continue to operate, period, it seems
right,
like.
Because we'd be bankrupt. We'd be insolvent. Yeah. And I'm going to go downstairs and check the mail, guys. Ed, we'll talk to you for a little bit while I go downstairs and then get the mail.
You can shut it off, Michelle. I'm done for now.
Oh, you don't want to continue?
No, I'm done. I'm done for today.
All right. Well, we'll see what we can
have more
comments
on the. We'll have some more race slot car stuff later on. Right now, I don't have it right here, but I will have some more slot car stuff to show.
Yeah. All right. I hear you.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Let's get this going. I gotta go check the mail, see if our package came because I got a review to do today. Stand by.